Everyone settle down. So yeah, before we start the training, okay. So this workshop is the greenhouse gases workshop. So you will be learning about all sort of things regarding climate change and stuff lah. I will brief you all through later on. So before we actually start the workshop, so just give you some safety briefing lah regarding this workshop. So if you heard any announcement regarding the safety announcement, so you can just wait for the announcement and then follow me to the safety exit. Don't use the elevator. So follow me. Just go through the exit door at the front, and then in the just right in front of the door, you can see that there's a safety exit. So we will be going through using the stair to the assembly point, just like beside the risk counter lah. So if anyone wanted to use the surau, it will be on the 26th floor, and then the toilet will be just toward the end of the corridor. So just walk out from the door, and then to your left there will be a male and female toilet lah. So lunch will be provided, and then tea break will be served as well. So yeah, so that's pretty much it lah. So today the workshop is regarding the greenhouse gases inventory workshop. So first of all, my name is Zher. So just a very brief introduction about myself. So previously, I actually worked as a project engineer. So I actually involved in also firefighting system, cold water plumbing, and then after that, I got chance to actually involve in energy efficient project, and then indirectly, I got into the solar project as well. So in that, I actually got exposed to those greenhouse gases reduction project. So help the organization to actually reduce their greenhouse gases and then to achieve their sustainability goal lah. So just recently, I also attained the certified HRD Corp trainer. So yeah, just a brief introduction. So yeah, so from this training, we will teach you what is the causes of the climate change. So you guys can identify what's the root cause of the climate change, and then what actually causes, how human activity actually causes global warming and also the climate change. Secondly, of course, we, YTL Corp, also calculate what we call the greenhouse gases inventory, meaning that we calculate how much emission we emit from our activity itself. So from there, we're actually using what we call the data collection template. So from here, we collect those activity data from you guys, and then we, as YTSV Carbon, actually help to calculate the emission result from your activities lah. So the third learning outcome will be you guys will be demonstrate how to actually proper manage your carbon footprint. So in the sense that we'll let you know what is the best practice in order for you to actually manage your carbon footprint of your organization and also yourself lah. So moving on, let's get some ice-breaking game. So on your table, you can see there's paper with numbers, right? So I want you guys to actually get your, look at your number and then get someone from different table, get their name and also fun fact. And then later on, you guys will introduce yourself, your partner to the class. So you guys have 3 minutes. Huh? No, they have pen. No need marker pen already. Yeah, move around, move around. Huh? Oh, if you guys need marker pen, you can get it from here lah. Yep. Yeah. Just help yourself lah. Going a bit too fast. Yeah, sure. You want to get marker pen also can. Yeah, you can get. If you want marker pen also can. Sorry? Shit. Got a lot of time actually. Overflow. Yeah, I just give them as much time. Maybe 1 more minute.
Oh, you are.
Okay, guys, 1 more minute. Okay, guys, time's up. Okay, back to your seat, guys. 1%, yes. Is everything okay, guys?
Finding translation.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, just 1% will do actually.
Nonsense. Nonsense.
Yeah.
Keep talking nonsense.
Yep. Okay, settle down, guys. So yeah, shall we start with this gentleman? You want to introduce your partner?
Yeah, hi guys. So my partner is Adelina.
Adelina, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, the fun fact about her is that she can't eat any sour content with dairy food. Sour and dairy products she can't eat.
Okay, yeah.
She will get food poisoning and so on. Yeah.
Yeah.
My partner is Allison, and he don't have any problem with food. So he like okay, something like
Okay, so moving on.
My partner is Ellen and Atira. Ellen and Atira.
Okay.
Ellen, he doesn't like water.
Uh-huh.
Atira, she like to do late night drive.
Wow, that's special. Ellen, shall we go next?
Okay.
Oh, so Ellen. Yeah.
Yeah, so my partner was Shama and Atira.
Mm-hmm.
And Atira likes late night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Shama as well.
Just be honest, it's okay.
Spend out 1 hour in toilet.
Okay.
Just to finish the water.
Before.
Yeah.
Ellen and Sharma.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen, his contact is he don't like water.
Uh-huh.
Sharma spent almost 1 hour inside the finish.
Sorry, don't like water. What do you mean like?
It's like sustain like I don't need to drink water.
Oh, okay. I think that's kind of talent then. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Suman, Daniel, and Zhang.
Oh wow, you got 4.
Yeah. So Suman's fun fact is his hobby is doing mountain ride. Then Daniel, he say he's talkative and sometimes he talk nonsense. Zhang, he can eat nasi campur every day.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, maybe Daniel, you go first. Mhm. Okay, that's talent. I see. Yeah. Mhm. I see. Yeah, so you want to go next? Mhm.
My partner is Suren, Daniel, and Julia. So Suren, as he said, he can sleep for more than 14 hours. Daniel is talkative, but sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
And Daniel, he said he can eat nasi campur every day.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I think you guys just choose one person from your list and then just introduce the person lah. Okay. So, yep.
My partner is Ivan.
Mhm.
He's crazy.
Where's your partner? Can you stand up?
Ivan, focus.
Yeah.
My partner is Ivan.
Okay.
He's crazy of pets and birds.
Oh,
Like dragon.
dragon. Oh, okay. Mhm. Oh. Yeah. So.
Okay, so my partner is Faiz.
Mhm.
And a fun fact about him is he's a self-taught.
Yeah. So where's Faiz? Yeah. So. Okay. So again.
He's a self-taught technician.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you want to go next?
Yeah. So my partner is Zafi.
Mm-hmm.
So Zafi is a tech geek, or I call it Apple maniac. So he loves all Apple products.
Okay, thank you. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, Zafri. Oh, okay.
My partner is Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
He's a retired professional.
Oh, okay.
So my partner is June.
Mm-hmm. June. Oh, hi.
He likes to stay at home, just Netflix and chill.
I think I have the center.
See, I see what you did there.
Sorry, who again? Mune. Oh, like to play what? Football. Oh, okay. Yeah. So go on.
My partner is Jaya.
Hidayah.
Likes
Oh.
facts about her. She likes to read novels.
Oh. Okay. So who else I'm missing that? Yeah.
So my partner is Natasha.
Mm-hmm. Natasha.
She loves K-drama.
K-drama. Okay. Same with my wife.
He loves to karaoke.
Who? Sorry?
He loves to karaoke.
Karaoke. Oh, good to know. So, lady.
My partner is Shasha.
Mm-hmm.
She loves cat.
Love cat. Oh, okay.
My partner is Ying, and she has a habit of biting her nails.
Probably consider changing the habit. Yeah. So next. All of the table done? Okay, great. So everyone done? Oh, okay. So yeah, so great to know you guys. So moving on. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, give me a second.
Miss told me to tell you that ask all the students to write down some paper and folder.
Okay. So yeah, can I have a? You guys have a paper on your desk, right? So write your name at behind. So just fold it and then put it in front of you. Can you put up the video? Like this is a just drag. No. The video is ready. Wait. Yeah, good. Just put it, pull it to the screen. To the screen and then enlarge it. Full screen and then replay. Yeah, so everyone done? Okay, so before we move on, I just wanted you guys to watch a video. So, help play. Yeah, so from the video, you can actually see recently there's rained a lot, right? So you can see there's actually flood everywhere, including recently, I think, KL. So anyone of you like experienced flood before? Yes? Recently at your house? No. Okay. So flood is the, I would say, most applicable impact of climate change towards Malaysia. Of course, the weather, the hot weather is also one of it lah. But I can share myself that I'm actually coming from Klang, so Klang is like a almost become a floating market lah, I can say. So yeah, so there's flood everywhere if there's heavy downpour of rain. So yeah, so before we actually go through like what's the real causes of climate change, I would just like to introduce you guys to like how actually human activity causes the climate change and stuff lah. So of course we all come from, initially we are all like a hunter-gatherer. We hunt food, we actually gather all the resources from the nature to actually fulfill our needs. And then when all the like steam engine come out and everything, so that's where we come the industrial revolution lah, where we produce more and more goods and then more stuff to actually fulfill our needs. Okay. So as population go bigger and bigger, so we need more food. So we can't actually just like farm ourselves and stuff like that. So that's where industrial scale farming coming in. So we farm huge amount of crops and food. Of course, we also get a lot of feedstock to actually fulfill all the needs of the growing population of human. We gather like a stream farm or fish pond farming to fulfill all the protein needs, and also there's all types of farming method lah. It's actually just to fulfill our own needs. And then just from like in 13 years, initially the whole street like is covered by people, horse and cart, stuff like that. So just in 13 years, there's no like car is become common lah on the street. So yeah, so you can see that how much we evolved in just a short period of time lah. And of course, the mode of transport that we have to transport our goods. Initially, we are using mostly wind. So the ship is sailed by using the wind power. So may have larger restriction. We need to check the direction of the wind and stuff like that, right? So right now we have let's say either steam powered or what we call the fuel powered ship lah. So also be due to our needs, we already changed the way we actually move our goods and also move around lah. Okay, so one of the most important things in our human urbanization is actually buildings, right? We build for place for us to live in lah. So if we wanted to break down how much emission for each material used in the building, you can see that's like emission from concrete is now 2%, additive is 1.5%, and the PVC is like 1%, and so on and so forth lah. So you can see we use a lot of cement, which account like averagely for one building, cement is around 30% lah. Okay, so yeah, so from here you can see that although PVC is only, plastic is only account for only 1%, but you can see if we calculate or we see the emission per kg, plastic is actually having the highest lah. So I would say that our in nowadays we can't actually eliminate plastic. So plastic is everywhere in our daily life and stuff like that. Yeah, so plastic, so 99 plastic are made from naphtha, and also you can see that when we take out the crude oil, so 9% of the oil is actually used to manufacture plastic, and then it's undeniable that we need plastic in our construction. It's rather PVC pipe or other for aesthetic parts of the building and stuff. So around 20% of plastic manufactured in the world are used for construction. So plastic is actually widely used in human urbanization. So if we don't take good care of how we treat plastic or how we dispose plastic, we actually are harming the environment. So you can see how, I'm not sure whether you can see clearly. Let me switch it off. Yeah, so you see here, the habitat of the animal is like full of plastic bag that we throw every day. The ocean is full of the plastic that we actually dispose it irresponsibly. Of course, you guys can know that turtle, like they mistook plastic bag as their food. So their stomach is actually like full with plastic. And then the seagull and also the dolphin, their habitat is also being polluted by plastic. So all these are the causes, the result of us not taking plastic pollution seriously lah. So yeah, due to our action, we have actually taking nature for like we have causes much damage to the nature, and then we are actually reaching the planet boundaries lah. So out of this, I would say disaster that you see, I said this Chennai Day Zero India is actually very interesting lah. Anyone will take a guess like what happened here? Sorry? No one. Okay, so Chennai Day Zero India, meaning that on that particular day itself, so India, they actually restrict the water consumption, meaning zero water consumption for that day. because due to water crisis lah. Yeah. So I think other than that, wildfire and also like pollinator loss and then flood, everything is quite common to you guys. I mean, you guys know it lah, but I think day zero is one of the things that is quite interesting lah. Yeah. So we are living beyond our footprint. So meaning that each person we have what we call a footprint lah. So we actually emit carbon. So as the years goes by, we actually emit more than each person actually emit more carbon per year lah, as time go by. So we also disrupt water cycle. How does we affect water cycle is that, so you know that climate change causes a higher temperature across the globe, right? So water evaporate much easier. There's more rain at certain area causing more flood. Certain area which are dry, it become drought and stuff like that lah. So we actually disrupt the water cycle as time goes by if the climate change getting worse lah. Okay, so with the water cycle being disrupted, river, which is one of the mode of transportation in our which contribute quite significantly lah in the economy. So when it dry up, it also causes chaos to one particular area or country. So you can see that on the Germany, there's a like river dry up and stuff like that. It also not only impact the biodiversity, but it also impact on our economy lah. So this is about the what we call the Montreal Protocol. It's actually talking about our ozone layer depletion. Okay, so we can see that by the time we realize that our ozone is like in a real trouble, where the emission has already the emission from our activity has actually causes the ozone depletion and stuff like that. So by the time we realize we're trying to make something like somewhere around 20, so you see that even we trying our best to like make things better, it takes like huge, like big amount of gap to actually restore back into the 1980 level lah. So yeah, we have to actually seriously look into this to actually prevent the ozone layer from getting worse and worse lah. Yeah, so of course the main contributor of the climate change is actually greenhouse gases lah. So greenhouse gases is actually consists of a total of 6 gases. So what greenhouse gases does is that they actually trap heat, like prevent. Okay, so sunlight go into Earth, it reflect by the surface of the Earth to the outer space. But then before it escape from the ozone layer, GHG, greenhouse, which is what we call the greenhouse gases, they actually prevent the heat from going out from the Earth. So you can see that you can imagine it's like a blanket lah, covering your Earth. So if you have huge amount of greenhouse gases on the ozone layer, it actually prevent the heat from going out from the Earth. So you can see it's like a greenhouse lah, like how you plant a tree and stuff. There's a greenhouse, so the heat can't escape lah. So one question to you guys: so if greenhouse gases are like prevent heat from going out, should we like fully eliminate greenhouse gases, or is greenhouse gases important to us? So yeah, you want to try like why?
Because keeps our planet the minimal amount of heat we need.
Yeah. Yeah, can give round of applause? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So as per mentioned earlier, so yeah, greenhouse gases actually sustain the Earth temperature to be suitable to live. So with greenhouse gases, optimally our Earth temperature averagely will be around 14 degrees Celsius. But if without greenhouse gases, the Earth will be approximately negative 19 degrees Celsius. So yeah, greenhouse gases actually they emit from every source, even naturally. Something like a volcano eruption, plant decay, everything release greenhouse gases. So it happens naturally, but then due to human activity, we are emitting it in a huge amount in very short time lah. So this is what we, this is how we cause sort of what we say the global warming. Yeah. So this is all the greenhouse gases that are the 7 most common greenhouse gases lah. So how do we? You may look at the report or somewhere else. They always use what we call the CO2E. So anyone to guess what's the E about? Yeah, just guess. No one? Emission? Anyone else? Okay, yeah. It's actually equivalent. So meaning that if you say that what we call the global warming potential, so you see methane is 28, meaning that if you compare to carbon dioxide, it is like 28 times more potential than causing preventing the heat from going out lah. You have much more potential. So in order to have a common metric, so people always use, let's say if you want to calculate methane, it's like methane times with the number of CO2, meaning that in relative to carbon dioxide, it will be like 1 methane equivalent to 28 CO2e. Yeah. So of course, human, we also do respond to the climate change. So first, we will start with Kyoto Protocol. So yeah, Kyoto is a nice country, but there's first, I would say, something like a conference they held in Kyoto back in 1997. Yeah, 1997. So this is actually to allow country to reduce their emission back to the pre-industrial level. So the international treaty signed by 192 parties, and then they actually aim to reduce, each country they have their target to reduce their emission before the 1970 baseline, I would say. So adopted in Kyoto in 1997. So they already acknowledged that GHG actually causes is threatening human in a global scale. So effectively, it get replaced by Paris Agreement, which we know about this day. Is actually like which I will explain it later on But then, any of you guys know why is it like sort of replaced by Paris Agreement? No, right? Okay. So actually, because there is 2 countries which is considered like a largest emitter at that time. So one of it is US, another is Afghanistan. They refused to sign this. So meaning that although it covers most of the country worldwide, but then if you are not covering those large emitter, the treaty doesn't actually go very effectively So eventually it get replaced by what we call Paris Agreement. So it's adopted on COP21 in Paris. So you may heard about keeping the global temperature well below 2 degrees, or if can, we try to strike 1.5 Okay, so it's actually participate by 196 countries, although I think previously US withdraw and then they got Biden take over again, they go and sign back or something. Yeah, so this is where the 2 degree and also the 1.5 degree come from So anyone want to guess where are we right now? Like, are we 1.7, 1.8? That group? Want to guess?
1.9.
Good guess. Yeah, actually this year we are actually 1.5 So good job. Yeah, actually it's not a good thing, but this year we actually achieved 1.5. So it's actually very critical. You can feel the weather is hotter, stuff like that. So based on current projection, we will be reaching 2 degrees Celsius by 2040. And then you may ask like, hey, like it's just like slightly hotter. I can use aircon to cool myself down and stuff like that. But then actually, you can see there's actually huge impact towards the environment. So you can see flood, hang on, extreme weather. Yeah, so there's a lot of impact towards the environment. You can see extreme weather causes flood. So with 1.5 degrees Celsius, there's 100% increase in flood risk. With only merely like 0.5 degrees Celsius more, you get your percentage of risk get rise to like 170%. So this is only like one area that we are, I would say, much applicable to us lah. There's a lot more: biodiversity loss, coral bleaching, sea level rising, which even causes even a serious flood and stuff. So with the you may see that although the rise of temperature is only like 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, but then if you are looking at the global scale, it actually causes very, very serious issue lah. The recent issue I think it's India or somewhere. It's like their temperature rise highest around 43 degrees Celsius, if not mistaken. So it's actually people might get heat stroke, people might get like a health issue from there. So yeah, we have to look at it seriously lah. So moving on, can we go into a group activity? Yeah. Okay, so you can see on your flip chart. So I want you to list down like how do climate change actually impact you, your business or your project, and your country. So this group you might don't have a flip chart, but I treat you very good lah. I give you the whole whiteboard lah, 2 lah, but then leave 1 for me lah. Okay. So in 10 minutes. So shall we go on? Okay. You guys need marker. You can get it from here. You want black? Black is here. Yeah.
This is the whiteboard.
Yeah. Okay. You guys need marker, you can get it from here. Is it okay? Okay. No idea what am I talking. Actually, I don't have script. I just read. Oh yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah, I forgot to ask few questions actually. Okay lah. Continue. It's pretty. Yeah.
I think if bring it around because here changes lights a bit.
Because we actually don't have time to change much, otherwise we have to add in a lot.
That's right.
You guys okay? Okay.
How long is it? 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay. 10 minutes, so it's like 55 lah.
Rainy means them lah.
Is everything okay? You can just. Oh, you need marker. Black? Okay. Yeah, I can be creative with your answer if you want. All good? Would that impact your economy as well? Right? Every one of you agree on this point or this point because one of you have to present later on. Okay. You guys all good? Okay, cool.
Go travel more.
Yeah, just be creative. It's okay.
Now you get how you go Cameron Island of the thing lah. Sometimes it could be bad, right?
Yeah, be creative. It's okay.
Go travel more.
Hey, sorry. You guys good? Yeah. Cool? I guess that's right. Is it everything I thought I have to cover? Everything I thought I have to cover this.
Your schedule, lesson plan.
Yeah, because kind of ahead schedule, so I can't like give them more time.
When all is done, I'll send you the protocol.
Thanks.
What are you trying to say? Slowly.
Everyone, I give you 1 more minute to actually finalize your thing. 1 more minute, guys. Later on, I haven't logged in Kahoot. Later on, yeah, during tea break, I log in. And then later on, you help me to pull up to the screen. Like the browser on the last final towards the end. You help me to. Okay, guys, time's up. Okay, finish your writing and then, yeah. And then take your seat. Do you guys need more time? Take a seat, take a seat. Okay, so make sure all the points that your team wrote down, you are actually agree with it lah. I can see Alan's team got very creative answer lah, so I leave it to the end. Okay. Because I saw you talk a lot. Yeah, so everyone raise out your hand. Okay, raise out your hand. Point to the person that you want him to present. One. Oh, so fast, you guys. Okay, hold. Okay, so point to the person now. Point to the person now. Okay, so who is this? They vote for you. Yeah, can you stand beside your... So, who are you pointing to? Ellen? Or who? Okay. And this? Yeah, so, okay. So maybe I'll start from this group. So yeah, go ahead, go. Okay.
May I have your attention, please? Okay, good morning and assalamualaikum. Okay, this is some of the points that we figured out by our team. So, how does climate change impact from different perspectives? For the first one is us, you lah, all of us. So, change of climate, the effect of climate change is, for example, like rise of environment temperature can cause us productivity become much more low because of our well-being is affected. For example, you get sick or fever, so you cannot do work. And also, it can increase the risk of our health. For example, like heat stroke and exposure of too much of UV or sunlight directly to our skin can have a potential of this can happen, see cancer. And also can change our lifestyle lah. Usually we go out to sport. Then because of rise of temperature, cannot do much outdoor activities. Okay. Second point is our business and projects. So, for example, like flood can damage the properties. But maybe we have some projects near the ocean, near the sea, or somewhere near the water body. So increase water level or sea level can might damage our property, and also our cars or other assets. And second one is can cause supply chain issue. Example that transportation cannot supply our cement, right? Concrete or bricks. And however, it can increase the opportunities. Maybe some of us can invent something new from this what do you call it, disaster. Maybe you can provide a service or anything. And also, of course, it can slow down our progress. Everyone's at home, we cannot do activities, it's raining every day. Okay, the third point is our country. Okay, like it always happen every year in our country, Malaysia, have flash flood for a few weeks, and then we have drought in certain area, very dry, and then it can affect our welfare quality and disturb our food supply because the crops cannot grow, animals die, we got no water, and also can affect the tourists. Lots of places will close or shut down because of the extreme temperature, especially on the island, on Krabi Island or Tioman or Bangko. And it can also affect our government because they have to spend more to provide for the affected people and also repair the damaged houses. And lastly, increase the poverty and displacement of people from their house.
Yeah.
That's all from our team.
Yeah. Team member, anything to add? All good? Okay. Give it a clap. You want to go next? Yeah, Alan, you want to sit down first? You will be the last.
Hi guys.
I'll say.
Okay, so from my team, got this point of view. So I discussed how does climate change from you is I will you guys can know,
Yeah.
sorry. Writing is very important. So the first point is IUV exposure. So our Malaysia is not balanced. Sometimes very hot. Suddenly morning is raining. Because it's watching signs. So yeah, that is causes IUV exposure. Then the next is dehydration. So sometimes in Malaysia, you can see whole year, like few days, there's no rain and very hot. Even you want to turn on the aircon in the room, also you want 16 full blow your fan, your aircon fan, still feel hot. And yeah, that was it. So it's next project. So I mean my team is for our first from construction side. So we really did project aspect of construction side. So it will really our progress. So as in construction side, sometimes we take when we construct a building, there's a time for cement to cure itself. So it depends on the weather as well. So sometimes if it is continuously raining, the curing period will delay. So that will cause us to delay in our progress and it will delay our time to meet the deadline. And then building is not built as per plan, as I told you before. Yeah. And then after we have done the building, we have constructed the building. So sometimes it's not cured properly, even though we have constructed it, so that causes a lot of effect. And then the next one is country. So the Malaysia is unpredictable. We have unpredictable weather. So where you get flash flood, flash flood. I don't know what else to say. So I will just focus on flash flood. So in case when there's a flash flood, there's no. I mean, I will not say there's no proper drainage system, but still that in Klang level there's a lot of super. So that causes a lot of traffic jam and hits our economy in our personal life as well in our cars. Get pressured, our car get flooded, and we have to clean it at one big lies. And it will affect the economy as well because it will cause our productivity, our economy productivity as well. So I mean government have to spend more money on getting all these things rectified. So, yeah. And then the next one is disruption in food source. So because of unpredictable weather, as in like Cameron Island, right? I mean, it causes Cameron Island is very famous for strawberry. So when the weather is not met to the temperature that we need, the productivity in like strawberries also is not good as well. Not like how it used to be last time. I believe all of you have went to Cameron Island, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you guys know how it used to be last time and now how it is. So that is why that is what we can do.
Yeah, just curious, like if the weather affecting the curing, how you guys actually solve it? The curing of cement.
Curing of cement is like because when we construct, we don't. I mean, we are constructing a mega project. We keep buildings, right? So to cure it, we really need to get it to exposure to natural heat. Cure it because we cover when it rains, we cover it covers and so on.
Oh, so there's no any way to like speed up the process or anything, lah.
It depends on the material.
Okay.
So, but somehow it comes back to the weather.
You have the question?
Daily. That's a tough question for me to ask because I many different.
Okay, give me a clap. This group? Go ahead. Don't be scared.
So, so how does climate change affect us as individuals? I say that we tend to get more easily dehydrated and then there's a change in our routines. Like before this, we can go, I'd say, jogging around 3 or 4 p.m. Like that. But now you have to think about it because there's a tendency of you. And then, so that's how it impacts our productivity. You don't want to go out in the sun. You tend to delay your works to a more later hour of the day, and that causes you stress when you go to sleep. Then for project, I would say rainy weather, unpredictable weather, like rainy weather affects the access to site, so it delays our progress for material delivery and so on. And then the hot weather also increases the tendency of heat stroke at the site. Like there's an incident that occurred outside, but the welder under the scorching sun fainted. So that's what the hot weather causes. And at the country level, let's say that the flash floods are causing us to produce less crops. And then it also affects our tourism because people want to go out in the scorching sun. due to the bad weather, and this directly impacts our economy.
Yep. I guess the easily hydrated. Just now someone said don't like water, right, Alan? I don't think you affected, right? Easily dehydrated. Yeah, your turn.
So first of all, how climate change affects the Earth is first body temperature. Yeah, everyone feels hot. And secondly, after we increase our body temperature, here comes the health issue. Of course, UV light and weather. Yeah, and because of this, we will have low performance. Yeah, we get sick. Yeah, like what I was saying now. Yeah. So second, how it impact our business and project.
Mm-hmm.
So first is decreased productivity because let's say we don't think about construction, we think about agriculture,
Mm-hmm.
plantation. They greatly depends on the weather and climate. Yeah. And secondly, more plastic waste. It's like quite creative. Is suggested by yeah. So when we get hot, we drink more water on site. We drink more water. Where do we get water? A mineral plastic bottle. After we drink, where we throw? We don't keep it in our pocket, right? We just dump it anyway, right? Yeah, so here we increase the more plastic waste.
Everyone agree, keep in the pocket or throw.
Yeah, yeah. So the third one is of course increase the fuel consumption of machinery. Yeah, when the weather is too hot, the machine gets very hot, consume more fuel. You need to add more fuel inside. Yeah. Yeah. So the last one was country level. This one I'll go to the last.
Okay.
Implementing government policies. Yeah, so government need to implement some policies to help the natural disaster people. Yeah, maybe more funds need to go to there. Yeah. The one is of course the natural disaster. Like natural.
Okay.
Yeah. And some people maybe die because of this. It's to increase our population and increase our financial spending. Yeah. So the last one is suggested by myself. If when the let's say the weather is very hot, we usually do travel more, which increase in tourism activity.
So that one is positive point, lah.
Yeah, we don't need to see things negative. Yeah. If the weather is very hot, usually you will find like maybe go shopping complex, or you go to Genting Island or Cameron Island. Yeah, you even go other countries to travel, right? Yeah. So that's my point.
Okay. Good job. Yeah. So as you guys know, you guys are okay with all the presentation, right? No one to debate or something, right? Okay, cool. So you guys already know like how climate change really impact our daily life, including maybe like for yourself, it mostly will be like risk in a health issue and stuff. So business and project mostly will be, I would say, delaying the progress and then affecting the income of your project or your business. And then country level, of course, affect tourism, positive or negatively, yeah. Okay. So yeah, it does impact in these three areas lah. So yeah, glad you guys able to come up with some good point. So I think you guys want to go for some break before we carry out for the second one. So yeah, maybe you can go for 15 minutes break. Everyone okay? Okay. So see you guys later. Okay, shall we start? Okay. So the next topic will be on sustainability reporting lah. So this is what we do annually every year, like YTL Corp. They will come up with a reporting on how well a company is doing, including like how well they monitor their emission, how they actually minimize their impact of from their activity to the environment. So yeah. So why do actually company do sustainability reporting? First, of course, compliance to Bursa requirement. So in Malaysia, Bursa actually require all the listed company to be reporting on their uh, sustainability agenda lah, which one of it is emission. So funding, investment, and green bond. So some investor or even bank, they provide green bond. So meaning that you have to have a minimal criteria of, let's say, to have a certain green initiative within your company, or you have to cap your emission within certain range to actually entitle for this investment or bond. So branding, of course, let's say, especially in Europe lah, these days they are actually quite particular on whether your product is green or not. So whether is it causing environmental issue or is it causing any harm to the biodiversity and stuff. So this thing has been being in the spotlight lah this day. Yeah. So what are the standards that we are referring to when we are calculating the GHG emission? So the most common one is the GHG protocol. So it's what they call the greenhouse gases protocol lah. So it's actually educate or guide those company, including the SME, on how do you actually measure each activity emission. Meaning that let's say I consume 1 liter of diesel. How much emission that being produced from the combustion of 1 liter of diesel itself. So of course, ISO 14,000. So it's also a similar thing to GHG, but it's more applicable to, I would say, the audit lah. But they also share the similarity where they actually help people to identify what's their emission and then categorize in what we call the scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 lah, which I will be explaining later on. And then also the GRI standard. Yeah. So how do we calculate the emission? So first, of course, we need to know the resources usage, meaning whether it's coming from a diesel or natural gas, all the activity that we conducted, and then we need to know the emission factor. Emission factor is meaning that CO2 emission per, let's say, liter of fuel, per distance travel, stuff like that. That's what we call emission factor. So the type of resources may be coming from fuel, electricity, and also refrigerant. So any question? Okay, good. So greenhouse gases inventory is what we call, this is actually taken reference from GHG protocol lah. So they have what we call the GHG inventory. So they have categorized it in scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. So scope 1 is normally consists of those assets that under your company control. So scope 2 will be the energy purchased from the grid itself lah. And then scope 3 will be the other, the whole supply chain, emission from the whole supply chain. So GHG protocol actually, they wanted you to calculate or tabulate your inventory for your whole supply chain, including those that are under your control, those that the emission emitted indirectly due to your needs, or the emission from your suppliers. So with this, you can, those big corporate, something like us, we may exert pressure on those SME to comply with the sustainability. I mean, to actually help the SME to control the emission as well lah. So meaning that if you do comply to certain criteria of emission, I might not be continue our partnership and stuff like that. So with this, we actually can help to accelerate the initiative lah to keep the emissions. So first, we'll be going for scope 1. So scope 1 is actually the direct emission from the company operation. So the most example is like fuel use for your operation, whether it's like your factory, your car, your trucks and stuff like that lah. So fuel use for company vehicle, and then also the refrigerant. So you can see I put the CO2 here. So meaning that in summary, you can say that the combustion happened inside your boundary, meaning that you actually can decide, control the sources. Let's say instead of using diesel, I use biodiesel for your truck, for your factory. So you have control to choose what type of resources that you use to reduce the emission. So this apply for both operation and also vehicle truck. And then refrigerant, it might be slightly challenging to actually measure lah. So you guys that knows that over the time, you might need to top up your refrigerant to your aircon, something like that, right? Yeah. So this is because over the time, there's leakage happen, okay? So there's copper tube or refrigerant over the time because of the compressor or the defect of the copper pipe that will be leaking over the time. So your system, refrigerant system may have lesser refrigerant, which it don't feel cold anymore lah from the aircon itself. So if we wanted to so-called make it like become cool again, we have to top up the refrigerant to the system again, right? So from there, we can assume that amount that we top up into the system equals to amount that it has been leaked to the environment. Got it? Okay, yeah. So okay, let's say, maybe I draw it down. Okay, so let's say this is your refrigerant system. Everyone can see? Okay, so let's say this is the optimum level. So over the time, it had been reduced to this level. So this part has been leaked, right? Right? So how do we find this part? So we top up the level back to this, like X amount lah, X amount, back to this level, right? Okay, so meaning that the amount being top up to the system is equivalent to the amount lost. Okay, understand? Yeah. Hope you don't mind my handwriting, but yeah. So this is how we actually calculate, collect the data lah for how many refrigerant leak. So refrigerant actually is a very potent gas lah, in the sense of it is actually much more what we call the global warming potential earlier. It has higher potential compared to CO2 lah. So I can briefly go through it later on. So yeah, so second, we move on to scope 2 emission. So for scope 2 emission, it is indirect emission associated with the energy purchased by a particular company. So let's say for electricity, I purchase electricity from TMB, or maybe I purchase it for someone else, right? The emission itself, the combustion itself doesn't happen inside my factory because I get it from TMB. TMB burn the fossil fuel, power up their generator to supply the energy to me. But then, because of my needs, TMB need to fire up their generator set and stuff like that lah. So the combustion happen here and the emission happen here. Okay, so in a sense, the emission happen indirectly because of my needs. I cannot control what type of fuel that TMB fire. So TMB right now using 70% coal. I cannot say that, oh, I purchase electricity from you, then you have to give me only solar. Cannot, because they injected into their what we call the electricity grid. We only get it electricity from there. Everyone clear? Okay, so I will put cloud like no CO2 over here lah. So meaning that the combustion happen over here, the emission happen over here. Okay. So scope 3 is a very, I would say, wide scope lah. It consists of 15 categories. It basically covers everything else other than scope 1 and scope 2. Okay. So meaning that everyone from construction, or okay, maybe I use construction as an example lah. I have a subcon. Whatever fuel that he use or something like that is out of my control, right? I cannot control, right? So it is considered our scope 3, but because we engage them to do our stuff, right? So the supply chain, there's an upstream and downstream lah. So upstream will be employee commute, where you guys travel from your house to office, and then those business travel, where you guys travel from this site to that site for meeting, or you travel from this particular country to that country just to have like a business purposes lah. So that one will cover under scope 3 lah. So the downstream one will be a franchise and stuff like that lor. So for now, YTL Corp and Busa actually require all the listed company to cover scope 1, scope 2. For scope 3, they are mandatory to report on employee commute and business travel. Okay. However, as time goes by, we have to cover like each one of them lah. So for now, we already established so-called a survey. Everyone received like something like an employee commute survey thing. Everyone got filled up, huh? Good job. Okay, so yeah, that's the survey that we find out. So business travel, we are working on that, and then we are YTLSV Carbon, as in ourselves, we are trying to expand the scope under the scope 3 lah. Yeah, so how do we actually calculate the GHG emission? So first, as we mentioned earlier, we need to have the activity data, the emission factor, then we can calculate the total emission. So the activity data, it can consist of energy and fuel use or vehicle distance travel. Then the source of emission, primarily it is good if we have a local emission library, meaning like for Singapore, they have a emission for their, let's say, electricity. Also, Malaysia also have like a TMB emission factor and stuff. So primarily, we will refer to the emission factor for the particular country. And then secondly, if the country don't have their emission factor library, we will refer it what we call the IPCC. And then lastly, we will be referring to DEFRA lah. This is from UK. So UK, I would say there's quite established lah. Let's say for employee commute, they already have each type emission from each type of vehicle per distance travel. So because most of the sources before that, we don't have the local emission factor. I think local emission factor, let's say for vehicle, Australia have itself, but then the rest we don't have, we will refer to DEFRA lah. So with these two data, we can calculate the emission. But then how do we actually collect the activity data? So this is where we come to what we call the data template lah, that we actually distribute out every year to collect the data. Okay, so this is the front page of the data collection template. So for scope 1, we actually have stationary fuel combustion and also mobile, but let's go through one by one. So stationary fuel combustion, you can see that there will be around 5 columns that you guys need to actually fill in if in future you guys come across this template lah. Okay, so first, of course, the type of fuel. You are using natural gas or petrol or what so you need to select the fuel here. Otherwise, if you don't have the fuel that you use is not in the selection, you can actually put it in the comment section. So you can say that, let's say LNG, liquefied natural gas, is not in the selection. You can select others over here, and then you mention it over here. Unit of measurement, right now we cover gigajoule, liter, and also kg of fuel. But if the measurement, let's say natural gas in Malaysia, you sometimes come in what we call the MMBTU, so what we call the British thermal unit lah. So if it's not here, you can also specify here. So whatever that is not in the selection or in here, you can put it under comment section lah. Then the fuel consumption is actually the amount of fuel that you use for that particular selected fuel lah. And then the source, because we wanted to be audit proof, right? So audit proof, you have to prove that you have where you got the data from. So this is the column that actually you fill where is your data coming from. It can coming from monthly fuel purchase record or utility bill lah. So for stationary fuel combustion, you guys understand what is the stationary fuel combustion? Like judging from the word itself lah. Anyone? Sorry? No. Meaning that, okay, mobile means it can move, ma. So combust, the thing move. So what's the thing? Car, vehicle, right? So stationary, what is that? Yeah. Okay, why not discuss among your group, give some example, genset, or genset is one of it. So try to list down like what kind of, like what's the example of stationary combustion. Yeah, so like discuss among the group and then maybe we can share it later on. Maybe you give 2 minutes time. Okay. On the distribute. You guys can distribute paper today, right? No. Never I do it. So yeah, so you guys write in the A4 paper and then yeah discuss and then write out in the A4 paper lah. Yep. Hmm? Yeah, genset is one. Kitchen, boilers, what else? Gas turbine, furnace, oven. Incinerator, correct. Incinerator. Cement use kiln, right? KILN, how to kiln. Yep.
Not the unit of measurement.
Sorry?
The unit of measurement.
No. Example of stationary combustion, like what equipment or whatever you can think of. One of it. Yep. Sorry? All good? All good? Okay. Okay, guys, all done? One more minute. Okay, so maybe I'll just ask each group to give me one example of stationary lah. So can I call that group A? Yeah, so like what's the one example of stationary? Maybe call generator lah. Generator lah. Yeah, group B. Oh, huh? Sorry? Yeah. Sorry? Sorry again?
Flare tower.
Flare tower. Okay. Is it correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Group C? Sorry? Okay, okay. Yeah. An example? Yeah? Like what equipment in factories? Sorry? Yeah, can work here. Gas cylinder. Incinerator. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this is pretty much the common one lah. And then you can see that hotel they got what? Kitchen, right? Yeah. Then gas turbine. Yeah, correct. Boilers. Yeah. So as per name, as the name state, so stationary combustion meaning that the equipment stay there and that the combustion happen over there and then it produce everything that need for your operation lah. And then because all of this fall under scope 1, so for all this equipment, you can actually control what type of fuel or resources that being consumed for each equipment lah to fulfill your needs. Okay. So right now, the template, the type of fuel that we covered in the selection is like natural gas, diesel, petrol, and also LPG. And then there's another selection is like others please specified in the comment. So actually there's full list of fuel that being used, but this is mostly example from UK lah. We don't find it very applicable for us, so we kind of put it under others category. If one of the fuel, let's say CNG, you guys do use CNG in a site or what so, you guys can select others in the selection, others, and then you specify butane in the comment. Okay? Good. Yeah, so for stationary combustion, let's say I select natural gas, and then I don't have the kg, let's say, so I put others, please unit measurement, I put others, please specify, so I put kg, and then the source consumption point, I would like to, I'm not sure whether genset is considered stationary or not, but then I use it for genset, so I just put it genset over here, then the amount of fuel I consume, and then where I get data, actually from utility bill for natural gas. So I have natural gas, amount of a measurement. So this emission factor that we get from the library itself, so we can calculate like 1,000 ton of natural gas, I actually emitted 2,000 tons of CO2 lah. Yeah, so for mobile combustion, so it's similar to the stationary combustion where you select type of fuel, unit of measurement, fuel consumption, and all those others comment that you would like to highlight to us lah. And then source is normally coming from a fuel claim record from, let's say, HR or finance. So I think mobile combustion, you guys know, right? What's the example of? Yeah, car, forklift, crane, whatsoever. That things that actually move lah in the either construction site or any vehicle they own by your company or within your control lah. So because it is scope 1 man. Okay, so type of fuel, similarly, we cover natural gas, diesel, petrol, and LPG. The rest, you can specify it similarly to the previous slide lah. Okay, so let's say for the particular example, my vehicle consume petrol. The measurement is in liters. Then I consume 100 liters. Then the consumption point is actually company car. So if you specify company car, meaning because it's under scope 1, so it's from company car, and then the source is actually I get from let's say finance, the monthly claim record. So with all the information here, so we have liters, we have the emission factor, then we get that from the combustion of 100 liter from the car using the petrol, so I already emit like 2.34 tons of CO2 lah. Yeah. So like let's say refrigerant. So refrigerant, you guys already know how it leaks, right? So over the time, refrigerant leaks out of the system. So commonly there's like four types of refrigerant. So R22, 134A, something like that. So the unit of measurement normally we use in kg. So let's say you engage one supplier to top up a system. Normally in the bill, they will state that I already top up how many kg into your system. So from there, you need to keep track like how many kg you have already top up in the system, and then you need to record the number and then share it to us lah. So let's say for this particular example, we use R22. So it's only like 10 kg of fuel consumption, but then you see the emission factor like only 10 kg is already like 18 tons CO2. So for let's say petrol, you consume 100 liters, it's only like 2 tons of CO2 emitted. So you can see like refrigerant actually has much higher potential to cause global warming and stuff. So yeah, so coming to scope 2, purchase of electricity and steam. So as a form of, in short, energy lah. Okay, so it's actually quite direct. Unit of measurement normally come in kilowatt or megawatt. You can get it directly from the electricity bill. Amount of energy used is actually when in a bill you can see the kegunaan in kilowatt hour, and then the comments, anything that you like to highlight, and the source of data normally is coming from your utility bill lah. So this is the example that the TMB bill that you guys have. So you can see that normally bill come in this way, or different tariff it might display different way lah. But then this one you can see the kegunaan kilowatt hour import. So this one you can actually get the amount of kilowatt hour that you use for your company lah, for your operation. So coming from scope 3, employee commute. I believe you guys fill up lah, but I trust you guys lah, okay? Okay, so to be honest, the response rate is not that good lah, so please fill up. Try your best to provide every data, answer every question of this. So this is the survey that we distribute to every one of you through the frogs to actually collect your commute behavior lah. Okay, then business travel is just the type of transport that you guys use, and then this include some example that I will show later on. So you can share us your distance travel for your journey. Let's say you travel from point A to point B to have a meeting or something. So if you have the distance, you can put it here. Otherwise, let's say you are taking flight, you may not know the distance. So you can let us know your point of departure and arrival. We will help to calculate the kilometer instead lah. So comments, maybe you can let us know what's the purpose of the travel, whether it's really business travel or meeting or what so. We can actually help you to identify or filter out. So the source of data you can coming from fuel claim record or what or flight ticket or what so lah. Yeah, so shall we move on to group activity 2? So because you guys have 4 group so one first come first serve or how? Like one of the category will be done by 2 group lah. Anyone want company A? Someone please choose. Okay, so this group is B. C. A, okay, nice. Okay, so B, C. So you guys? No, I mean it's all selected lah, so you guys can choose whatever you want. B. I'm sorry, but B is the hardest lah. Okay, so go to your flip chart. So this is all the I would say category lah. So you guys need to categorize this into scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 based on your boundary. Okay, so B have 4 category. Good luck lah. Okay, so A, B, C, and B, right? Yeah. So yeah. So go to a flip chart and then just list down. Is it scope 1, scope 2, scope 3? Yeah.
For company being point number 2.
This one?
We touch back to the company C, right? Because we buy the fuel.
This one is like they didn't charge back.
Or didn't charge back. So we absorb the.
Yeah. In this scenario itself. Yeah. So is 10 minutes enough for you guys? 10 minutes? Okay. Okay. Are we on time or what? Up to you. You can use like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Up to you. Yep. Now like this, point 1 is which scope, point 2 is which scope, point 3 is which scope.
Okay, just label them.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, you guys just need to label each point of your company. Meaning this one is scope 1, this one is scope 2, this one is scope 3, something like that. Just label each. Yeah. Yep. 是。
我们到时你们 SV power 呢？懂 YTL power 的
Power International
我们的这个 power 是它是 emit 有没有 solar 的
？solar 是减碳嘛，就减的 carbon 嘛，所以他们是有加进去啊，就是
有
因为 Power Seraya itself 他们是我 consume 那个我烧那个 fuel produce electricity 嘛，所以我烧那个 fuel 我有那个as a power producer 的 perspective， 烧那个 fuel 是我的 scope 1是我的 scope 1所以我的 scope 2， 因为 Power Seraya 很特别，他没有拿电 from grid。他自己用自己的电所以他是 scope 2是很低的，他的 scope 2只有 office 罢了这样咯。
很好奇这个，因为我觉得你可能会懂
是。
还有 SV 有意思的吗 ？IDR SV 有 stand for anything？
其实这个是原本它叫 SV carbon 然后 YDR absorb 它就叫 YDR SV carbon。SV 是 Sorium Varmin 那个 founder 的名字。然后他过后就过世了就我老板就。Sorry. So like this company, right? You have the each I would say category lah. Okay, so you have to label it. Like this one is it scope 1, this one is it scope 2, or this one is it scope 1, scope 2. So just label lah.
Oh, label lah.
Yep.
很好奇。
他是外国人，我忘记什么名了。哎呦，我已经忘记了。
Sorry， OK。
Oh, then you do everybody's one, is it?
Huh? Hey. No. You guys are
Trying to.
We are top performer.
Critical man.
okay. Okay, wait. You guys are company A, so you need to know. Oh, so this one is the point A, point B, point C like that. Okay, okay, good, good, good. Okay, we have top performer now. Who else haven't finished? You guys finished? Okay, guys, I give you guys 2 more minutes. Just think of, do you have power to control the source itself? Okay, time's up. Okay, time's up, time's up. So I want you guys to rotate clockwise. This group go this group go that group go this group, and then check the answer. Come on, guys. Rotate. Yeah, rotate, rotate. You can put a star, you can tick or whatever you feel that is good. Hello? You guys need to mark this group. Rotate, rotate. One, two, one, two. Okay, give your guys 2 minutes to figure out whether the answer is correct or not. Confirm So far 2 minutes. Okay, auto ya. Hah?
some like a few of the marker are permanent.
Oh shit, seriously?
Because it's mixed up, I don't know why.
Oh, okay. Okay, 1 more minute, guys. 30 seconds actually.
I think the other game was easier.
Sorry?
I think the other game was easier.
Is it?
The previous game was easier.
Oh, yeah.
Second one is three.
Yep, okay, guys, back to your group. So, here's the answer. Everyone got it correct? Company B okay ah? Second point? Okay, so it is field like under company B, right? You purchase the field. You have power to decide what field already under company B. So you purchase the field and then use by subcon. But then the subcon doesn't have the power to control what type of field that you give them. So this is actually under your scope lah. Yeah, it's not about how much, it's like type of field. Resource, type of resource. So, all good? Clear? Okay, so you guys want some short break before we go into the next one or how? Okay? Okay. So maybe you catch a 5-minute toilet break. Okay, good? Okay. Okay. So the next topic is about carbon neutrality or what we call net zero lah. So I would brief you guys the definition later, but then basically it means that if we emit that much of carbon, what can we do about it? How do we actually deal with it? So before we get started, YTL group lah also have a target lah. So you guys know what is the target? Whether it's carbon neutral or net zero? No idea. Better read up. Okay, sorry. Alan, you want to say something? Carbon neutral? Net zero? Net zero. It's actually carbon neutral lah.
I don't think they can achieve net zero.
Yeah, true. Yeah, okay. But then we are working on it lah, okay? So these are all the initiatives that we are working on to actually achieve carbon neutral. So what's the difference between carbon neutral and net zero? So in this slide, we will show you the overview on what's the definition, what's the emission covered, what's the applicable offset, and then what's the regulatory standard lah. So by definition, carbon neutral meaning that the total carbon dioxide that you produce from your own operation have to be offset. The keyword are balance or offset. That there's no requirement to reduce absolute emission, meaning that you can emit like 1,000 tons this year. The next year you can use carbon credit to fully offset it, but that would be not good lah. Net zero meaning that you have to reduce your emission first, and then only the minimum, there's still some amount of carbon emission that you can offset, because this day our technology is not that advanced yet, or maybe there's other things like let's say your process memang that particular part memang cannot be avoid. So that part you can offset using carbon credits. So that's by definition, this one can use fully offset. This one you have to reduce first, only offset those unavoidable emission. So carbon neutral scope is actually cover only scope 1 and scope 2 and then encourage to cover scope 3. However, net zero, you have to cover everything. Scope 1, scope 2, easy lah. Scope 3, like 15 category lah. So it's quite hard lah for us to achieve. But then we are still working on it because eventually we will have to move towards that direction lah. So applicable offset, there's using carbon credit. So there's carbon avoidance or reduction credit. Then for net zero, you can only use carbon removal credits. While regulatory standard is easier to achieve and then can achieve directly through offset. While this standard is stringent, you require to be like reduce your emission by 95%. The remaining 5% you can use carbon credits. So from here, you may ask, what's the carbon credit? What's the avoidance, removal, stuff like that? So what is a carbon credit? So a carbon credit is equivalent to a 1 ton of CO2 being removed or avoided. So it's actually a tradable instrument to be trade among company or players or traders to actually offset the emissions. So it is good to use the carbon credit to offset unavoidable or hard to abate emission, meaning that it's unavoidable carbon lah, to be integrated into your carbon management strategy, which we will be talking about later on. So where does the transaction of the carbon credits happen? Okay, so just give you guys a heads up lah. Later on, you guys will be playing a game about this lah. So yeah. So there's 2 types of market. First, compliance market. Secondly, voluntary market. So compliance market basically is regulated by a government, meaning government is the one who decided the laws, policy and stuff like that. Voluntary carbon is where people, they purchase the carbon credit from the carbon market itself to offset their emission, but it's based on voluntary basis, meaning that there's no rules or regulation that's saying that you have to achieve this reduction and stuff like that. It's solely based on voluntary basis lah. So let's move on to compliance market lah. So compliance market, also known as ETS, so it's pretty common lah, like especially for Europe, what we call the EU ETS. So it's known as emission trading scheme. So I give an example lah. Let's say factory B, 1 cloud, yeah, smoke or cloud lah, representing 1 metric ton of CO2 lah, let's say. So let's say in compliance market, the government will set what we call the industrial cap. So meaning that this factory working in the same industry, you can only emit 3 metric tons of CO2. So meaning that if you look at here, factory A, they have 1 more quota, right? Factory B, they exceed by 1. So what they can do, factory B is very, very rich lah, but then they exceed the quota already, the industrial cap lah. So they pay factory B. So factory B sort of sold the credits to factory A sold the credit to factory B, and then factory B uses it to offset, while factory A, they sort of sold off their quota for factory B lah. So in that sense, both factory, they also complies. Clear? Yep.
Are there like any regulatory bodies to ensure that the data that
Yeah, so compliance market, so government will be the one who actually regulate the whole thing lah. So each metric ton of the emission, so you need to sort of verify by, that's what we call the methodology lah. So how do you quantify your emission is 1 metric ton? So there will be a methodology, let's say approved by this compliance carbon market. So you have to follow the methodology to calculate, okay, this is 1 metric ton. So I have how many metric ton of CO2, stuff like that. Clear? Yep.
How much is your carbon credit?
Sorry?
How much is
The price? Yeah, so we will get to that later on. Yeah, so I'll go through the voluntary first, and then after that we'll go through the price. It's okay? Okay, so voluntary carbon market, so as we mentioned earlier, so of course there will be a supply and demand in most of market, not only carbon market. So project developer, they have one project that actually can avoid carbon or they can remove the carbon from the atmosphere. So they will have to go through a registry, so-called what we call Vera Gold Standard, those registry. So register their project onto the registry, then they will generate carbon credit, and then the credit can be traded on the voluntary market. And then those people who are interested in buying those credit, they can actually buy the credit from the market itself. But then still, voluntary market, as per the word said, that it is no complying, like there's no mandatory rules that you have to sort of achieve your emission, but people purchase them is either to comply with their the requirement on compliance market, or they just voluntarily purchase it just to achieve their sustainability goal. Yeah, so in Malaysia, recently they launched what we call the Bursa Carbon Exchange, BCX. So this is the voluntary carbon market that we have right now. It's a clearing platform. So the next project that we are going to auction is what we call I would say the first project in Malaysia will be the Kuamut carbon project. And then in voluntary market, there will be type of carbon credit, either technology-based or nature-based. So as per the name say, technology-based basically use technology to sequester or avoid carbon. So like you guys may be familiar with solar, renewable energy. So by using renewable energy, you avoided using the electricity from the TMB or from the grid, which which have certain number of emission . So this is what we call avoidance carbon. I'll go through deeper later on. So so technology-based and nature-based are two common category in voluntary market . Okay. So as per mentioned earlier, there will be avoided and carbon removal. So what's the difference? Avoided credit, meaning that you're avoiding the emission from going out to the atmosphere in the first place. So meaning that, let's say, you guys know what is methane capture? So meaning that, okay, let's say I have a palm oil. I put the fruit on the side without any proper management. So it will release gas, biogas, methane, whatever. So if I have a project that I can capture all this gas, and then I use it to power up my genset and whatsoever, so that one, I already avoid the methane from released to the atmosphere. So this is what we call avoided . So if we register it on the registry, as a project, it will generate carbon avoidance credit. Okay. So to the right, what we call the carbon removal. For short term, I think it's quite straightforward. Those trees are the carbon removal. So what we call is that they directly pull the carbon or greenhouse gases directly from the atmosphere itself, rather than avoiding . So this is what we meant by removal credit. So a very good example, but it's, to be honest, very costly . Direct air capture, where you capture the capture the CO2 directly from the air. And then what we call the carbon capture utilized storage, CCUS. So it's actually works similarly. It's also capture the CO2 and then to be stored underground, or there's a storage for the capture . Okay, so what is the quality of the good carbon credit? So this is the criteria that may affect the price of the credit itself . And then a carbon credit have to be fulfill all these criteria. So, okay, first part is stress and I want to explain. So additionality, meaning that it has to be something additional on top of a business as usual scenario, meaning that the project have to be really show reduction. Let's say if I continue my business without doing anything, I emit 1,000 metric tons of CO2. Okay, so if with the implementation of the project, I have to show decrease in the emission. Okay, so this is what we call addition on top of business as usual criteria. And then there's one more point in additionality is that your project has to be something like something that on top of your is not required by government or regulatory, or it has to be like a financial viable only with the fund of the carbon credits. I know it sounds complicated, right? Okay, so the thing is that additionally is to ensure the carbon credit project is really with the purpose of reducing the emission rather than it will happen anyway without carbon credit. Macam blur je semua. Okay, let me write down. So, in order to determine whether the project comply with additionality, first thing you have to ask the project developer if the project is viable without carbon credit fund. Second question, is the project required by regulatory? Okay, so this is the two questions you ask if you want before you actually categorize whether it's considered additional or not. So if the project is visible without the carbon credit fund, then it will not be additional. Okay. However, if it is only feasible with carbon credit fund, meaning that you have to sell credit in order to get the fund, then only this project can happen. So, okay, it complies with the first criteria. Then the second one, is the project required by regulatory? Let's say I have this methane capture system. So right now, most of the, I would say methane capture is like palm oil industry, biogas industry, they have to have this system in place to capture the methane gas. So if it is required by regulatory, then it will not comply to additionality because it is not the project exists not because of like to reduce emission, because it is required by government or laws or whatsoever. Okay, so this is the two questions that you need to ask. However, it is not required by regulatory. You are doing it because it can reduce emission and then you need fund from carbon credit to make the project happen, then it is considered additional. Clear? All good? Can you say yes louder? Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. So the next criteria will be permanent. So the project have to be permanent, as in you will not like I register this project year 1, year 2 I scrap it off, something like that. So like let's say I register my forest as a carbon project, then the next day I lock everything. So it's not permanent. So then the carbon, after you lock the carbon, go back to the atmosphere again. Okay? So measurable, of course, you have to follow their methodology in quantify your carbon sequestration or avoided lah. You cannot simply say, I think this tree is like sequest 1 metric ton per year. So doesn't make sense lah. You have to be measurable. Verifiable, of course, you have to able to show like how do we actually quantify your credits. No double counting, as in, let's say I already registered my project, generate this credit, is being buy by company A or company B already, is being used to offset their emission. I cannot declare to the public saying that this project is offset my own emission. It will be double counting, meaning company B said he buy your credit to offset theirs, and then you said this project has offset my emission. So once you sold your credit, you kind of sold your rights to say you have this reduction. Okay? So avoid leakage, meaning that I register my forest at location A. Then I say that I prevent deforestation, so I have a carbon avoidance credit. So I prevent this location from being deforested. But then I'm a logging company. I need to gain profit. I go and log somewhere else. So the leakage happen lah. So I prevent here, but I do my same activity here. Okay, so real, of course, the project have to be real. No net harm, meaning that, let's say, one of the controversial recently is like hydro. I construct a hydro dam. I generate hydroelectricity. Sounds very good, but then in order to construct this thing, I need to deforest. I need to affect the biodiversity around the site and stuff like that. So it causes net harm lah. So this is one of the issue that the carbon avoidance credit from renewable energy is getting affected lah. Yeah, so come back to the pricing. So technically, carbon avoidance credit will have much cheaper price compared to carbon removal credits. So if you are talking about like direct air capture, where you actually have this technology to capture the air, like sequestrate now elsewhere. So this is the technology that require a lot of funds. So the credit will be sold at a higher price, and also is really like literally remove carbon from the air lah. So renewable energy, as we said earlier, so right now it doesn't comply to additionality because one of it is like in Malaysia, you don't need to have carbon credit, fund from carbon credit to make the project happen. Because let's say solar, the price government give incentive and stuff like that, the price already very cheap. So the project will happen anyway without carbon credit lah. Yeah. So does that answer your question? Yeah. So rule of thumb, avoidance credit, they have lower price as compared to removal credits. Okay? Yes, no? Yes. Okay. Yeah, nice. Okay. So globally, there's a lot of compliance market like Europe, UK, California, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, China lah. So allow me to promote a bit. We have this newsletter from YTL SV Carbon. So every month we actually update what's the price trend whatsoever. So yeah, if you guys interested, we can let you guys subscribe also. Yeah, so the news what happened in the market globally and also regionally lah. Okay, so another type of, I wouldn't say credit, but it works similarly to credit, is what we call the Renewable Energy Certificate, REC. So it's also known as what we call the Energy Attribute lah. Energy Attributes Certificate. So it is used to actually offset the energy rather than the emission itself. So how it works? So technically, imagine this is your TMB grid lah. TMB, they use coal-fired plant. They also have, I think, 20% of renewable energy. And then another hydro, whatever source is injected in the grid lah. So when your business taking the electricity from the grid lah, how do you tell the public saying that, or how do you want to tell TMB saying that you only want renewable energy because you have sustainability goal? Cannot, right? Yeah, because the grid is a mixture of the source of power. So in order for you to have the rights saying that my energy gaining from the grid is 100% renewable, this is where the REC come into place. So each megawatt of renewable energy generated, you convert it to what we call the certificate. And then you claim it for your business. So let's say you consume your monthly consumption of electricity is 2 megawatt, and then you wanted to make your electricity consumed by your business completely green energy. So you purchase 2 renewable energy certificate to offset your current energy usage. So in a sense, you're actually using 2 megawatt of green energy instead. Okay? So most of the people, you may come across like RE100 and CDP, stuff like that. REC is actually recognized by those reporting framework lah. So RE100 meaning that renewable energy 100%. So meaning that those companies that are reporting to this RE100, they are committed to use 100% renewable energy for their operation. And then, of course, similar like credit, it can be sold to other people. Like I'm the project developer of renewable energy, this renewable energy. So I have generated this amount of renewable energy. I can convert this into REC and then to sell it to company that interested in lah. So where do I register my project? So commonly, there what we call the IREC, the International REC Standard, or Tigers and APX. These are most common registry available. All good? Good. Okay, so Malaysia, they actually offer also what we call the green energy tariff. So it's actually a tariff, but premium I would say. You pay slightly higher, but then you get the RECs bundle together with electricity purchase. So yeah, so each electricity you get, if you subscribe from green energy tariff, you will obtain the renewable energy certificate bundle with it, come with it. So in a sense, you can actually declare that you are actually using clean energy. Yep. So what's the difference between carbon credit and REC? Just now who say yes very loud one? Nah, just kidding. Okay, so what it is? So both are tradable instrument, but then carbon credit is targeting carbon dioxide. But then REC is targeting the energy instead. Yeah. So you can see the measurement. Carbon credit, one carbon credit equals to how many metric ton? One. Yeah. REC?
1 megawatt
Megawatt hour. So 1 megawatt hour. So you can see that one is targeting emission, one is targeting energy. Okay. So where can they be used? They can be used in scope 1, scope 3, where REC they can only use to offset scope 2 because only energy Scope 2 is energy purchase So how is it measured? So as I mentioned earlier, so this carbon credit, in order to generate carbon credit or quantify your carbon credit, you have to follow the methodology approved by the, let's say, Vera or Gold Standard. So REC is actually quite direct. So it's like your electricity meter. How much is generated, then convert to megawatt, and then you convert to REC once your project is registered onto the registry. So that is everyone clear? Or you want to ask something before I start the so-called games? All good, huh? Okay, so role play. Oh shit, wait. Hang on. Sorry, Is it the same slide? Hang on. Why is it different already? I don't know why is it different from what we do yesterday. Okay, so you can see there's two numbers on the screen. So maybe we'll start with this group first. Write on your flip chart or whiteboard. In this, choose one number from this E and M. Yeah, someone maybe. Your representative to choose that you want, or you guys want to discuss first before you decide. Yeah, and then write it down. Then E.
Itu pilih satu.
10E.
Sorry? 10E. It's okay. Maybe you guys write down. E, you guys choose M.
15. Okay. 10 and 15.
Okay. Okay. First come, first serve. Who want to choose next? This one got choose by them already. 11. 11. Okay. Choose 11. You guys? 20. Okay, 20. M? Anyone? M? 15 is taken. 13 is taken. Okay, no, 13 you guys. Okay. 12. So you guys,
We will take
the remaining. I'm so sorry, but you guys have 16 and 14, is it? 10, 15. It's 11, huh? 16. You look at them. 11 emission, 16 emission, 10 emission. Smart. Everyone got it? Okay, everyone have their purple and green card, right? Pink, sorry, my bad. Okay, pink and green card, right? Okay. So E stand for your emission, M stand for your cash lah, money lah, okay? So right now, there's group that exit emission and there's group who under the emission. So industrial cap right now is 15. So if you guys have to trade among each other group, but then before you actually have the trade begin, engage one of the so-called agent here to facilitate the whole process. Okay? So trade among yourself, move. Now you have to trade. Yeah, but your is you have 4 man. You have 4 allowance, 4 quota man. Okay.
You mentioned about whether or not they can sell more than one party.
No.
Should I mention?
No, maybe just stay there. The second round only.
You should they give you money.
They give you those people. You sort of sell your quota to them, so you will absorb their emission, but then you take their money also.
So I do.
You have 5. You have 20, so you have to go and buy 5 quota lah somehow. No. You are 20. You cannot sell. The industrial is 18. You have to buy. Yeah.
Do you guys want to sell?
They have 4.
We have 4 to sell. Okay, but how much?
You want
How much you want to pay? Wait, how much do you want? How much do you want?
There's already in the mic.
How much do you want?
like that.
Give me a price. Give me a price. Come on.
5 ringgit.
5 green. 2 green.
I'm getting confused.
They already have this mindset.
Guys, let me sit down.
Okay, whoever still exit the industrial cap will be disqualified, so called.
Government never earned anything from this transaction.
Yeah, we are poor right now. Guys, once you guys done trading, write down the new numbers of E and M that you guys have right now.
Have you mentioned the consequence of
Disqualified.
we can get some from
Wow, loan shark.
Thank you, Olivia.
Oh, this one done. Okay, we have one good done. So who else? You guys didn't sell anything, ah? You guys discount a bit lah.
They're very bad. They don't want to.
no one's buying.
They got 11 now,
Yeah.
so they need to sell at least 5. They got only 4 to absorb. So whenever how much they sell to them, if they don't sell the last to us, right, they will get disqualified, right?
Yes.
How much they offer them?
Mutual agreement lah. Try to make it work lah. Guys, try to make the transaction work lah.
So we just
Sorry?
The number of industry cap controlled by the government.
Yes.
So for in Malaysia and RECC, right? Instead of
Actually, we don't have a compliance market yet. We only have voluntary. But if we, in future we have a compliance market, then they for sure will put a cap.
so, can the government change the number of industry cap based on the?
That's the round 2 actually.
Guys, please stop.
Guys, make the transaction happen.
Ni kau punya sampah.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah. No. You have to pay them. You're buying their quota, so you are passing pink card and green card to them.
Whoever sells the goods. It's a demand.
Yeah.
They all have slots.
Yes.
We want their slots. Whoever opens the lowest, we buy from them.
Guys, make the transaction happen, huh? They are even more scarier than you. There's like 2 for 5, 2 for 10, Wow! They expect this.
One's offering take 2 admission for 6.
I think that's why you need to have the control, which is everybody in the same industry, they must meet this certain number. Yeah, that's when they have to work. If not, then end time now, because then you say people with the highest admission will be fine now.
Okay, guys, 1 more minute. Okay, we have 2 groups.
I only got one.
40 seconds.
Oh, so give proof. We only got 2 one.
Okay. Make it again. Okay, everyone update their numbers accordingly. You pull up the number generator browser. Okay, assuming this is the first year. Is it still 16? Guys, you guys want to summon here with 2 ringgit left?
Actually, right, we are the only group with the highest admission and the lowest.
Shall we disqualify or fine? Okay lah, we find you one green card lah. Okay. 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 1 representative from each team. Okay. This is assuming you have done. Okay. Minus 1 again. No. Okay. Maybe not. Minus 1 from your 2. Yeah, money. Okay. Assuming this is your first reporting year. So next year, your company generating profit, right? 1 representative from the team generate number 1 to 5. You get additional money. This group, who have the lucky hand? Who? Anyone? Okay, let's go. June. 1 sorry, 1 to 10. Okay lah, we since they only have 1, make no sense now. So 1 to 10 lah. Okay. Okay, so go and click.
Satu.
4. Dah. Okay, second one. Okay, go ahead. Oh. Give 10. Okay, you guys want to give him chance or not?
Like,
Okay, three. No, swap to the side. Okay, everyone update your M. Sorry? Oh, can. Okay, let's go round 2. Scroll down. I cannot control somehow. Okay, next. Okay, right now, second year, second year. Cap is 13. You already generate 1 to 10 lah because very kasihan. Use your current M to buy your offset. So yeah, similarly, trade amount you prove. Okay, so you may notice that there will be not enough so-called quota or credit from compliance market, right? You have the rights to buy it from voluntary market. So those people who are holding orange card, those are the credits. I didn't control on how you transact. So yeah.
Do we take their commission?
No.
Just take their money.
Yeah. Joy, do I have it? Oh, so you have it. No. So there's three traders in the room. You guys have 10 minutes to settle that.
There's one rule.
No longer apply.
So yeah, what do you say first? Can I pay one?
Yes.
So we have to use.
No, keep it. So the total number of emission will be this minus this. This is credit lah.
Then I want one more.
Oh,
And is it possible?
No, we won't have any money to for penalty next time.
it depends. Depends. How's the negotiation works? You can sell 5, you can nego to 3.
We need to. Give me 1 minute.
You understand?
5 minutes more. You guys taking loan? Why negative?
13, right? You want to
Hey, how come this one? How much you buy?
I think lower the price like that.
Oh, you're bad traders, are you?
I think ruin our business. Like this one 1 for 3.
How come it's that much?
I think cut my business.
No, it's just to upset. Okay, everyone, have you guys done? Update your chart accordingly. Okay, guys, settle down. Have you guys updated the chart? Okay, now who has the lowest emission with highest amount of money? 1 and 11, you sure? Alright. 7, 14. That one 21.
Why?
Yeah, I actually want to see how bad it is. Okay, guys, settle down. Okay, so the thing is, we don't want you to actually just compete. So we are trying to actually let you guys understand how the mechanism work. So as per you guys did earlier, it's actually how compliance market work. Of course, it's already like simplified a lot compared to what we're gonna be in real case. But then this is how it works. So you guys do know there's supply and demand issue. Some people sell 1 for 5. Who? Yeah, people sell for 1 to 5, 2 to 10, something like that. So supply and demand issue do come into consideration when it comes to carbon credit as well. So industrial cap, initially, if you exit the industrial cap, you will have to fine. But then some of the group are too poor to pay the fine, so we just eliminate that thing lah. So I'm glad that you guys actually able to keep it under emission and then still making profit lah. So initially our plan is that whoever exit the cap, we will really like a heavy fine lah. But then still, yeah. Okay, so lastly, this is a group activity ma. So lastly, it will be a sort of individual quiz lah for you guys. So can you flash up the Kahoot? Yeah, so everyone take out a phone. Yeah. So scan it, and or you can use the pin here.
We didn't do greenwashing.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I missed out the slide, sorry. Okay, so another part of the credit is that it may controversial when it comes to greenwashing. So what is greenwashing is basically you promote the thing. Sorry. Okay. So it's basically you promote your product like green environmental, but in the real case, it doesn't. So let's say Joel over there, he sell clothes saying that it's making from recycled material. They sell like premium price, 10 ringgit or so extra, but then actually it is false marketing. It just greenwash their product to be sold in premium price. Okay. So it's actually a tool to deceive the society to actually pay more, but then it also doesn't bring any benefit to the environment lah. And then carbon credit actually is having controversial when it comes to greenwashing. So people saying that I'm actually helping the environmental, promoting green product, but then I just use carbon credit to actually sort of offset all my emission rather than actually I'm doing something to make it better. So when they fail to prioritize the reduction, or when the credits are double counted, so you are using the credit already claimed somewhere else, you use it for yourself again and then promote your product, that will be greenwashing. When you invest a project with no additionality, it also will be causing greenwashing. So however, carbon credit, it do come with the benefit. Okay, so it provides fund to actually for the quality carbon project. So let's say this technology is very costly to implement, but then if we carbon credit, this project can happen and then bring benefit to the environment, it actually serves the purpose of carbon credit. So also you know that as for now, our technology and financially have a barrier. So carbon credit come in the place to actually not only provide fund to the quality project, but then and company perspective, you can actually achieve your sustainability goal. So, and then of course, we also, through carbon credit, we also spread awareness in combating climate change. There's a study for that. Carbon credit associated with business decarbonization actually 3.4% faster averagely. And sorry, 1.8% faster. So 3.4% of company that involve actually decarbonization faster. So this is the most important part of like carbon management. How do we actually manage your own carbon? So there will be 4: avoid, reduce, replace, and offset. Let's assume you start from the bottom. The first thing that you have to do is avoid. Avoid all sort of activity that produce carbon emission. Secondly, reduce. You cannot avoid this particular activity from happening, but you can reduce its emission. Thirdly, to replace, if the activity have a better or alternative way, which have a lower emission, you can actually replace the activity. And then lastly, you can only offset the remaining of the emission using the carbon credits. All clear? Remember the sequence? Make sure. A tips. Sorry. Can we flash up again? Yeah. So shit. I forgot. Oh. Who is Mr. Nobody? Everyone can see clearly, right? Oh. Oi. Oh. Okay, so then we can only use that first come first serve basis Maybe we'll wait for Alan for a while.
We got play.
Those that didn't manage to log in, you guys help your friend. Sorry, give me a second. Helen, shall we wait for you? Okay. That's okay. Yeah, so you guys ready to start? Okay, let's go. There's button there. See? Okay, wait, hang on. Daniel, hang on. Oh, really? Okay. Okay, next. Okay. Who select methane? Wow, you guys close. Not produce, huh? Yeah. Okay, so stop for a while. So water vapor is actually one of the potent GHG. Sorry. Yeah, but then it is not produced by human activity and it exists in the atmosphere. Let's say your GHG is in the ozone when it emits heat, so there will be a water vapor lah. So that's actually one of GHG, but under GHG protocol, it is not considered under like category of GHG lah. But then if it's because it's not directly produced by human activity, water vapor exists everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, next. Great job. Oh. Okay, guys. So refrigerant is which scope? Scope 1. Okay. Okay, so remember this one? I mentioned, right? We cover how many? Yeah, so guys, what are those two? Business travel and employee commute. Yeah, correct. Move on. Okay, so the rest of it is actually scope 1. You can decide refrigerant you use, fuel use, your fuel use for company vehicle, but fuel for employee commuting. Imagine YTL control you guys which fuel you use for your car. Doesn't make sense, right? So this is scope 3. Wow, the first one gets so many marks. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is just an extra knowledge. Majority of greenhouse gases coming from energy sector because we do consume electricity every country. So that consumption is higher, getting higher each year. So yeah. So yeah, before we go to the next, the remaining 5 questions will be double point. So yeah, read carefully. Next. Blue. Okay, Malaysia operating voluntary market known as BCX. Okay, next. Voluntary market. It's not compliance, voluntary. Nice. So good. You guys share answer. So remember, it is not the priority to offset, but it is your last resort. So it's not like strictly avoided. You can use it for last resort. Okay, next. Okay, last two, guys. Personal EV among YTL employee. Okay, because it is contribute to employee commuting, meaning you change your car to EV. You guys ready for last one? Oh. This is the tricky part. Malaysia. So this is based on the data of 2012 per capita, meaning per person. Okay, guys. So before we wrap up this, so I just wanted to have a refresher on that. So in this training, you guys have learned what is the causes of climate change. So how human activity emitted greenhouse gases contributing to climate change. And then we as a company, we have responsible to actually taking care of the environment. So we do sustainability reporting as part of our initiative. So, and lastly, how to manage your carbon. So, of course, you have to first avoid everything that produce and then so on. That lastly, you can use carbon credit to offset your emission. So, I hope you guys actually learn everything from here. And then if you guys have any further question, you can just approach me. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much wrapped up the workshop. So thank you everyone, and then I think lunch is served, so you guys can have lunch.
The price is lunch.
Yeah. So thank you everyone, and also thanks Oja for organizing everything and helping out.
Thank you, Lisa. For you guys, for the information, River and team are all from the YTL group, SV Carbon, this is the company. So they are here as they are the unsung heroes who are trying to save the planet. So this is also another initiative that we brought to the graduate training program. So that you also will be champions of this GHG, because you are going to be taking over the planet from us, or now you already have been taking over the planet from us. So, yeah, these are one of the initiatives of the senior management. So with that, the feedback for today's training will be sent to everybody through POS.iNet. So please answer your feedback as soon as you can, because if not, spam every day kan, you know. Yeah, so we're about 12:30 right now, so it's lunchtime. Please enjoy your lunch. Some of you who are not going to be joining us for the next session, which is email etiquette, because some of you have already attended it. I assume that you have made some arrangements to continue work in Menara. If you want to go home and work from home, please be contactable to your bosses or inform your bosses. But I believe that we've already given some space for you to work here next door at level 23, or you can work at level 8. And, those who are based in Menara, please go back to the office. All right, thank you so much once again, Rizal.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.